If you don't know me, my name's Jerry Manal. I'm one half of the Scott and Jerry Show. Happy New Year. Happy January. I just came back from the International Gift and Home Decor Show in Atlanta, so I'm very slap happy because I haven't slept much lately. It was a fine show, and if you want to know the truth of it, you can pull me in the corner and I'll tell you how it really went. It went just fine. We do this the third Wednesday. Next month, we are going, as you have pieces of paper in front of you, who here has heard of Periscope? Great. All right. So just what we need is another social media outlet. Yeah, because we're Facebooking and we're Twittering and we're linking in and we're snapping chatting. Okay? And now we're Periscoping. And why do we care? Well, I don't really know. Well, I do know why we care. We care because it's an excellent way to communicate visually. Do you wish to Periscope? I don't know. But what you need to know is what it's about so that you can make an intelligent decision to Periscope or not to Periscope. So next month we are going to give you all that information and why you want to Periscope, meaning I could walk around and say, hi, this is my gallery, or look, I'm going to paint a picture for you now, and just set your phone up there and paint it. Or here I am setting up for a show from behind. And all you really need is a Twitter account. And it's free. Free? Wow. Yes, it's free.
You do the same type of thing with Google Hangouts.
And it's the same thing with Google Hangouts. And you can YouTube too.
And Twitch.
And Twitch is Periscope. Twitter's Periscope with pictures.
No, that's Twitch. Twitch.
Oh, Twitch, yes. So which one's gonna win? I don't know. But do you want to be on the one that wins? Yeah. And because Periscope's owned by Twitter, I invite you to come for yet another free activity where you can have meatballs and wine and find out, is this something I want to participate in or not? And wait, we're being Periscoped at this moment. Back there. So everybody smile and wave. Say hello, we'll be here next month.
About 15 people following so far.
Absolutely. This is great. What do you need to do in advance? It's on that piece of paper. You're going to go to Facebook at Canvas Sue, and you're going to look at the events page. Why? Because we don't want to spend a lot of time teaching you how to set up a Twitter account. I'm sorry, we don't. We would rather teach you about Periscoping and how to actually do that. And if you need help setting up your Twitter account, go to Facebook/Canvas Sue, and it'll give you all the instructions there. And if you can't figure it out, call me, and I will help you. I promise. I have talked enough. You didn't come here to hear me. You came here to hear Brooke. So why do you care about Brooke? Well, Brooke helps literally hundreds of small businesses, medium-sized businesses, organizations, nonprofits. You know those people who stand up there and they like run the world, and you look at them and you say, how do you do that? And you look so effortless. You must be so smart and so cool. Well, what they know is that they hire somebody like Brooke, because she's running around frantic with her hair in a ponytail in the background, making sure that everything's okay. So she is going to share with us some very specific information that you can apply immediately on your business and your life, and hopefully get your art business up and going and growing faster than 2 hands and 2 feet can do by yourself. And if you need additional information, that's why we wrote our names nicely on the piece of paper so that you can have access to her, and she'll send you some more information. She's done a wonderful job helping our business, and I'm excited that she's now going to talk and explain to you how to help yours. So let's give a warm welcome to Brooke.
Well, thank you, Jerry and Scott, for having me today. You don't see my hair up on a ponytail because I actually get to be the presenter today rather than the one actually doing all the organizing. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about me, and then we'll get into this, and then ask questions as you need to throughout. There's a lot of things I'm going to cover. Some things you're going to want to implement right now, some things you're going to want to implement later. I will send you the presentation so that you have the walkthrough of everything. And then I actually have a YouTube account where I am doing individual training videos on each of these different platforms. So right now there's only a couple of them up there, but as people ask, I'm like, sure, I'll jump on and record that for you, no problem. It only takes 4 hours to upload to YouTube, so we're working on those slowly but surely. My name is Brook Borup. I own a company called My Clone Solution. And it's exactly what it sounds like. I help business owners learn how to clone themselves and be able to get more done in their business by delegating, finding help, knowing what you don't know, and knowing when is the right time to have somebody help you with what you don't know. All right? So we basically are productivity specialists. We're here to help you be more productive. I started my business 2 years ago. I had left the hospitality industry where I was a supporter. So for the majority of my career, since I started working, I have worked with CEOs, CFOs, sales teams. At one point, I was a supporting role for 17 executive members of a hotel staff. So I was the only assistant for 17 people at once. So you have to be productive. You have to make sure that you do things in the business that take this much effort over and over and over again, rather than this much effort over and over and over again. And so that's where I got to be the solution person. I could come up with something to make anything easier. And in the last 5 years, the internet world has made things even better. So back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had the internet, but the tools weren't there. Now, whenever somebody sees a need, they go out and they build a product to fill it. So we're going to be talking about some products that can fill your needs that you may or may not know about. Some of them you are going to probably be using already. But when I show you some of the additions that you can put with it, it's going to blow your mind. So let's get started. Your desktop. So think about, do you need me, Jerry?
Nope, I'm going to turn off that
Okay. So how many of you have a desktop that looks like that? Really? That's awesome. I love this group already. So my standard business owner looks like that because the organization is not there. Think about your computer as a filing system, and don't keep everything sitting on the floor. Actually put it in the file cabinet. And we're going to be talking about that as we go. I won't stay here since all of you have a clean desktop, but the more you keep on your desktop, the slower your computer is going to be. Because it not only, when something's on the desktop, it's held on the C drive, but then it's also held on the desktop and it pulls back and forth. So if you are going to have stuff on your desktop, make sure it's a shortcut so your computer's not running twice as hard to pull one file. Just a information for you. Your email. So when you see something like that, can somebody tell me what that 13,678 number means?
That's what number I have.
I have more.
You
Never
win.
delete your email.
But what does that mean?
Unread.
That's
Inbox?
your unread emails. So that doesn't include all of the read emails that you have in your inbox. So my philosophy personally is I'm a task-oriented person. So your inbox should really be a reflection of what tasks you have on your plate. Every single email service out there has folders that you can use. And when you get done with the task, you either folder it or you delete it. And then you don't have to see it every day, and that number doesn't give you anxiety. Because I can tell you, when mine gets up to about 96, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to work the whole weekend. Because it's my task list. I know that I have 96 tasks that are just in my inbox that I need to get done for somebody. So that number would kill me. Now, what's the highest you've ever been, Jerry, in your inbox? Do you know?
No.
So I just got done working with a client that had 56,000 emails in his inbox, and 17,000 of them were unread.
I'm currently at 15,000. Did you want to make a date with me?
You know what to do. All right, we're going to talk about that. So there's a cool little service called unroll.me. All right, so unroll.me will help you manage the junk mail. Y'all have the junk mail. You get all of those subscriptions that come in. What Unroll.me does is it listens to your email and it picks up on the subscriptions. All right. You then have the option to keep it in your inbox, have yourself unsubscribed with the touch of a button, or put it into a daily roll-up, which means you get one email a day from Unroll.me, and all of those emails are inside of that email. Then you can choose to look at them when you want to look at them. So, for instance, I love my Target emails, I love my DSW and my Lane Bryant, but I don't need them in my inbox. When I think I want something, I can go in there and it's there, right? So, Unroll.me gives you one-click access to get rid of all of those subscriptions that are cluttering up your inbox. All right? Very easy to use and free. Free. Dropbox. How many of you guys use Dropbox? Yes. All right. So the reason we use Dropbox is because it is a cloud-based service that you only have to remember your username and password to get in. Now, if you go paperless or you're looking to get organized, how many of you have ever had a computer crash on you and you lost everything? Yeah. So, keep it off your computer. Put it in a Dropbox or a Google Drive. Dropbox is cheaper, especially when you have a lot of art and stuff to put on there, because for $10 a month, you have a terabyte of space. That is a lot of space. I do a lot of stuff, and all of my stuff is on there. You can also collaborate with Dropbox. So if you need to send a big file to somebody, you can get that link and send it to them, and they can download it directly from your Dropbox without seeing anything else. You can collaborate and share folders so that you both have access to those folders. I have an entire team that works in the Philippines, and they have a folder that we share back and forth. So I put everything that pertains to them in that folder, and they know to go in there every day and see what's new. So Dropbox is an awesome tool for going cloud-based, so that if your computer does crash, all you need to know is your username and password, and you have everything. Hi, Jerry.
Dropbox is also a fantastic way when you are transferring images, which tend to be large. Emails tend to not want more than 25 megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
So we use Dropbox all the time with our clients when they want to send us large images for printing.
Absolutely. So we talked about cloud-based. Files and folders can be shared with users or non-users, so people don't have to have Dropbox in order to share those files. It is accessible anywhere on any device. So if you have a tablet, and you have a smartphone, and you have a laptop, and you have a desktop, you can put your Dropbox on all of those. And for instance, if Jerry called me and said, "Hey Brooke, that document that you made for me, I lost it and I don't know where I'm at and I'm sitting at a light," I can go on my phone and I can Dropbox her that file because my entire computer is on my phone. So I can Dropbox her that file and she can have it instantaneously without me having to say, "Okay, I'll do it in 2 hours when I get home to my computer," and then forget. Because we all know that happens. And then you get that call, "Where's that file?" Not anymore. And then, of course, like Jerry was saying, it can accommodate those large file sharing through links. Any questions on Dropbox?
No, I have another cool share with it.
Okay.
Your phone to upload and clear off the photos out of your phone. It's fabulous. 'Cause when
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the memory eat up.
Especially if you're on iPhone. Yeah, it will auto sync with your phone, or you can tell it to auto sync with your phone. So as soon as you take a picture, it will put it on your Dropbox too. So just in case your phone makes it into the water or the sand or something that allows it to not work anymore, at least you got everything saved.
Now, if you have photos on your phone and you back them up to Dropbox and you delete them off of your phone, does it then delete them off of Dropbox?
No.
Good.
No. It will go the other way though.
Fair enough.
All right. So it's a little cloudy, but this is what Dropbox looks like inside of Dropbox, like on the browser. Now, how many knew that you could actually download it to your desktop and use it as a folder on your desktop? Yes. So, for those of you who didn't, you can literally go to Dropbox.com and it says install on your computer. When it installs on your computer, it adds it as another drive. So, you know, you have your C drive and you may have another drive. It adds it as a drive of its own and it's called Dropbox. And you can do your entire filing system. It will download what you want it to download from your online version, but it allows you, instead of having to upload everything and click all those buttons, as soon as you save something, you can save it directly to Dropbox, or you can drag and drop it into your folder, and it will upload and sync. All right? So it makes it much easier when you literally have it sitting right here next to your time.
How much space does it take on your computer to do that?
You can do it two ways. So you don't have to download all of your files onto your computer. You can choose to sync one folder or another folder. So if you have space issues on your computer itself, then I would say have a working folder. So one that you're going to use all the time, and then don't sync the other stuff. But if you're using your computer to house everything now, then it's the same amount of space, whether you're using Dropbox or whether you're using the C drive. Okay?
It's like a backup.
I'm sorry?
It works like a backup for your
Backup?
computer.
Yes. Well, and you don't even have to. You don't have to think about it as a backup. Think about it as this is where all of my stuff is kept, and it's safe, just in case my computer crashes.
And where is that?
There is space out there. So the internet has all of this space. It's where your websites are housed. It's where Facebook is housed. It's called the cloud.
And how secure is that?
Dropbox, it's all secured by passwords. So if your password is secure, you are fine. Now, there are other ones out there that are similar to Dropbox and Google Drive, which we'll be talking about. They aren't as functional, but they are more secure. I could get you some other names if that was what you're interested in, but as far as the cloud goes, it's a server that sits out in the world in different places. So Dropbox has rooms and rooms and rooms of servers.
Do you have storage limitations?
Well, with Dropbox, with the free version, it's 250 gig. With the $10 version, it's a terabyte.
That's $10
So,
a month.
which is $10 a month. Yeah. And a terabyte, most people aren't going to fill that up.
I have 2
Unless
terabyte.
unless you're a photographer or a videographer, then you're going to fill that up. But if you're doing that, then you're going to have external drives to save yourself anyway. I would use this as your working file and your sharing file. Does that help? All right. So this is what my Dropbox looks like. So like you can see, I do all of my training videos to share with my staff. This is my filing system right here. So you can see all the different folders, and the ones that have the little people next to them are the ones that I share with other people. So my clients share with me, I share with my staff, and vice versa. And so you can see which ones I have and which ones other people can see, and they're only shared with the people that you share them with. Free or $9.99, $10 a month for that terabyte upgrade.
And let me interject, and on the share, you can actually put an expiration date. So you can share with somebody and say, after 10 days, I don't want them to get into this file any longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
you
a
can-
nice way to protect yourself.
Yep, and you can always take them off manually if you needed to as well. Google Drive. So how many of you use Google Drive? Just Jerry? All right.
I love my Google Docs.
How many of you use Gmail? All right, so we'll be getting to Gmail here shortly. So if you have a Gmail account, you automatically have a Google Drive. They give you that 250 gig to be able to use how you see fit, whether that's your email, whether that's your calendar, or any of the other Google tools. Google is like the king of the internet, right? So it's actually a word that's been added to the dictionary. We're going to Google something, right? So starting with Google Drive. Google Drive is just like Dropbox in that respect. So it is collaborative with your staff and your teams. And what I mean by collaborative, it's different than Dropbox in the way that it's collaborative. Dropbox, you can share files, okay? If you open the file at the same time with Dropbox, it creates a duplicate copy so that we don't overwrite each other. With Google Drive, it actually opens in your browser and you can collaborate at the same time. So if we're in an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation, you and I can be working virtually, and when I type something, you're going to see it instantaneously. All right? So Google Drive actually has a whole suite of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and a bunch of other tools built into it that you don't have to pay for. It's a very basic version, but it's workable for what most people do every day. So it also works on any of your devices exactly the same way that Dropbox does, and I'll show you that in just a second. It will sync your files with your computer automatically. You don't have to use the browser, just like Dropbox. And then you have online surveys, spreadsheets, documents, presentations, and more, all built right inside of Gmail that gets housed on Dropbox or on a Google Drive. And then you don't have to buy the extra software, so Microsoft Office is included in it. And it's all free with your Gmail account. Free. This is what it looks like on the actual website. So if you open it up in a browser, this is what Google Drive looks like. And then, just like we did before, here's the Google Drive icon. So it is a filing system directly on your computer as well, if you choose to download that. Alright, so we talked about, this is my Google Drive. So this is what it looks like inside of a browser. You can see that I have spreadsheets, Word documents, I've got folders up here that are shared with different people, and then they have a bunch of different tools. So if you go in, look at the different tools that they have. Google Forms. Google Forms allows you to actually create fillable forms that you can then get a link to and say on your contact page of your website, click here to tell us whatever, right? Or to ask for a quote or to tell us what art piece you want on your wall. Then they can fill out their name, their phone number, whatever else you want, and then, what's the dimensions of your wall? What's this? What's that? You can ask them all that questions, fill it in, and it will automatically send you an email when somebody's filled out that form. So you design that stuff yourself, and you can design it to your colors and your specifications, and it's completely 100% customizable. Google Drawings is a drawing, like a mind mapping tool that you can use. So if you're collaborating and you're thinking about a new piece that you're going to do, or you have a client that's telling you what they want, you can literally sit on Google Drawings and draw it out with them right there so that they can say, oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. All right, I'll take that to my studio and finish it up.
And
Right.
you're in Florida and they're in California.
That's right, because everything can be done virtually. And then you have Google Presentations, Google Sheets. Google Slides is actually PowerPoint. Google Sheets is Excel, and Google Docs is your Word. Gmail. So about half of us have a Gmail account in here. By the time you go home, all of you will. All right, so we're going to talk about a bunch of things inside of Gmail. But did you know that any email address you have can be brought into Gmail? So the Brook at myclonesolution.com, Brook at Manal Arts, Brook at MGM Friends, Brook at TBBO, all of those emails can come into your Gmail and be checked in one place and be color-coded. So when I look at my inbox, I know who has sent me emails from those different accounts and which ones I have to check first, right? Yes, question in the back?
Well, as a technical question,
Yes.
when you do that,
Mm-hmm.
do you have the the ability through your Gmail account to set it up to reply as the account that you're doing, like a
Every
Hotmail
single
or
time.
an
Yes. Yes, it will. In Gmail, you set it all up as POP3.
iMac. Okay.
When if you have your Gmail on your phone, through the Gmail app, all of your emails will come into there as well, and they all come into your main inbox. It is set to automatically reply as the email it came to. So yes, and then you can have different signatures for each of those different email addresses.
Okay.
All right. So because I have client emails, if I reply as TBBO, you see my TBBO signature and email. Yes, ma'am.
Can you still go into your other email accounts and work from there also?
I would tell you no. I would say put all of your email addresses into the one Gmail account, the one main account, and do all of your work there. Because if you're going to just duplicate efforts, and then you have to sign in to all of those different email addresses. You can do it all in one spot and save yourself a heck of a lot of time. And then if you get an email in one, and you get an email in the other, and you're in one or the other, you might miss something. Where if you work in one email account for everything, you'll see everything coming in all at that one time.
How do you set that up, the various mail? How do you set it up? I know you may have already said so, but.
I didn't,
Okay.
but it's
Sorry.
in that. No, it's okay. It's in accounts and import. So if you go into your settings, the third tab in is accounts and import. And if you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video on that, and I walk you through the whole step. The only thing that you need if you're using Outlook right now, or you're using webmail like from GoDaddy or whatever, you just need the settings from your host to be able to set it up.
So like my websites, I could,
Absolutely, you can.
God, that'd be great.
Absolutely, I will show you.
But you can only do it as POP 3, right?
It's
It
POP
doesn't
3.
do the iMac.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
The only reason you would use IMAP is if you want to keep it downloads on your phone and it downloads on your computer, right? But you have to delete it twice
Okay.
with IMAP. With POP, wherever you delete it, it's gone from everywhere else. The reason you use IMAP when you're using Outlook is because Outlook, once it downloads it, it's gone from everywhere else. Because Outlook does not play nice. So, unless you are on the executive version of Microsoft Office, Gmail is right now the way to play. Because it offers you everything that Outlook offered you, but it's cloud-based. So your computer goes down, your Outlook goes down, all of that, you lose everything. Where if you're cloud-based, you're saved. Username and password, and that's all you need to know. And I'm going to tell you only need to know one in just a few minutes. So this is what my Gmail looks like. This right here, this color coding, is my different email addresses. So the purple you see is the Brook at My Clone Solution. The black you see is my personal, and then the yellow you see is TBBO, and then there's a little blue one right here, but that's another email address. So when they come in, I can see which email address they're coming to, so I know whether I need to respond to it right then and there. All right, we'll do this one first. So, Mixmax. If you are on Gmail right now, or you're going to be on Gmail very soon, there is a work in Chrome, please, because it has the most functionality with the extensions that it offers. So when I
It's an
say,
understandable thing.
huh?
Since Google owns Chrome,
Yes, because they work together, and all of that money just happens to find its way to its R&D. But there's a app or a Chrome extension which lives inside of Chrome and lives inside of Gmail called Mixmax. MIXMAX.com, and it is free. What Mixmax does is it gives you all of the functionality that you had with Outlook and more. So, these are really hard to see right here, but I have a whole YouTube video on all of the different things that Mixmax offers. it was about a week ago that I put that up, and I've already gotten 2 emails from Mixmax that they've added new stuff. So, and their support is like a 2-hour turnaround if you have any questions. So, they have scheduling inside of your email. When we get done here today, if you kind of want to see it, I'll pull up my email and I'll be able to walk you through it. But the video does that as well. You can literally send schedule dates. So for instance, if I say, hey, I want to get together with you next week for coffee, here are some dates and times I have available. Well, when normal people send that out, they have to type it all in. When I send it out, it's little buttons. And as soon as somebody clicks on a button, it adds it to both of our calendars. So, and they get a reminder that says, hey, you're going to be meeting with Brooke. Here's the location, here's the description, here's everything in one email. So now you don't have to go and make that calendar invitation when that happens. Now, if you say you're on the phone and you say, okay, we're going to meet Friday at Starbucks on the Courtney Campbell Causeway, and this is what we're going to do. That's Jerry in my spot. This is what we're going to do. We know that we both are going to do that, but I'll send her a calendar invite, and it'll say the date, the time, whatever. Do you accept, yes or no? She clicks yes, and it adds to both of the calendars. It also gives you the option to send out polls, to send out surveys if you're doing group stuff. That's all right inside of your email. All right? One of my favorites is the time bomb. So it's a self-destructing email. So if I said, hey everybody, I'm going to be at Payway at noon on Thursday. Come and join me for lunch. Let's have a pop-up mastermind. So I send it out to 50 people, right? And noon on Thursday comes and goes. By 12:30, that message on Thursday doesn't matter anymore. So I put a self-destruct on that email, and that email at 12:30 on Thursday disappears from everybody's inbox. It's just gone. And, you know, I've gotten calls when I've done that saying, I know I got an email from you, but I didn't have time to read it. I said, never mind, you missed it. Watch for the next one. You know, then it's a conversation piece. So anybody that's seen this presentation or has talked to me and has started using Mixmax, they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. You have no idea. Just wait. You'll get in there. You can put slide presentations. You can put a whole bunch of different things. It's called, they call it Enhance. And there's 30 different options inside of Enhance that you can do to enhance your emails. You can make your links turn into pictures. It actually pulls the data from the website and makes that happen. Like I said, your presentations can go in there. It's just crazy robust. It allows you, okay, how many of you are business owners or business professionals that like to work very early in the morning or very late at night, but you don't want anybody to know that you're working at that time? Right? Because if you're working at 1 o'clock in the morning and you send an email to somebody, it's going to say 1 a.m. that it was sent. What do you think they're going to do? They're like, oh, I'm up at 1 a.m. She sent me an email at 1 a.m. Text message, Facebook. Darn it all, I was sleeping that night. So it has an option where you can send later. So you push the send later button and you can send it tomorrow morning. You can send it in 4 hours. You can send it tomorrow. You can send it a month from now. So if you're scheduling stuff and it's the same distribution list, send it. It has distribution lists for you inside of Mixmax. It also has this cool little thing called snooze. So if you are a task list oriented person like I am, and I see an email that comes in and I'm like, nope, don't have to deal with that till Friday, I can snooze it till Friday. And it puts it in an archive folder and brings it back on Friday when I tell it to. So if, for instance, we've set an appointment and I need the agenda that was in that email you sent me for a Friday appointment at 10 a.m., I'll have it snooze and come back to me at 8 a.m. on Friday morning so that I can reread it and know exactly what we're talking about at 10 a.m. Let's see. There is, the remind button. So if you like to use your email as a task list and you want it to remind you if somebody opened it, didn't open it, or regardless of whether they opened it or not, I can set it to say, here's the email, I just sent it to you. Remind me in 2 weeks if, regardless, so that I can jog my memory to say, you know what, that person never got back to me. Probably should call them again. That's my sales process. So it has reminders directly inside of your Gmail now. Let's see. That's all the really cool stuff. But if you want to go see the video, I've gone through everything, so you have all the different stuff that can happen. And like I said, they're adding more and more every week. And every week I get an email from Olaf, and he says, this is what we've added this week. Have fun. Yes, my dear.
So how do you find these videos?
All of my videos are on my YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and type in My Clone Solution, you'll see my videos pop up. And there's more and more coming all the time. All right, on to the next one. So how many of you have a computer system you use to keep track of your sales leads or your clients or other business or personal opportunities? Is it all paper and pen? What do you
I have
use?
really good memory.
We all do.
Even worse, huh?
We all do. So this is a Chrome extension that's called Streak. S-T-R-E-A-K. You can get it at streak.com. It's free. And what it does, it allows you to customize your sales process. You can have, or your project management process. So I manage a team. So in here, you see that I have my first one is inquiry or meeting. So somebody's inquired about my services and we have, or I have to set up a meeting or we have a meeting set. New client stage is my onboarding, so that's on me. If they need graphic design work, they go to Melissa. If they need office work, they go to Jane. If I'm waiting on them to do their homework, they sit there. If they're in dark blue, it's a task for me that I have to do. And then if they're in that last green one, then they're complete. This is an active sales process inside of your Gmail. All right, and so it actually gives you the option when you're going through your emails. So say Jerry, I just took Jerry out today. Say Jerry calls me and says, hey Brooke, I need you to transcribe these 5,000 business cards that I just found sitting on the floor of the office, which might happen.
You heard me.
Yeah. So she gives that to me. So she comes into my inquiry because we haven't set a time for me to get those from her yet. And then I send her the email that says, okay, we're going to meet on Friday at the Starbucks on Courtney Campbell Causeway, and she's going to have a big box for me. It then gets moved to waiting on the client. When I pick those up from her, it gets moved to waiting on Brooke because I have to scan all of those. And then once they're all scanned, it goes into Jane's folder or Jane's pipeline. And when she gets done transcribing all of them and she sends me that CSV file, she gets to click it off and put it in done. And that's how I keep track of my team in the Philippines. They know and they use this inside of their Gmail accounts, and it's all collaborative. So when she makes notes inside of here, I can see that. We use this for our smaller projects. Our bigger projects that are more robust, we actually have Google Docs for those. Google Calendar. So how many of you use Google Calendar? All right, so Google Calendar is collaborative and shareable across all platforms, even your iDevices, for those of you that think they can't have Google on iPhone. I would say in the last 2 months, I have had 6 or 7 clients that have had iCloud issues and not getting them to be able to sync and do what they need to do. And I'm like, let's switch you over to Google, because at least then I can help you troubleshoot. And it's all on the cloud, and you don't have to have that one iCloud password, and then if one of your computers goes down, then I have to call Jerry and say, help me troubleshoot this, Jerry, for this client. So it is cloud-based, so you can schedule anytime, anywhere, and on any devices. If you're using Gmail and you're using Mixmax to do your scheduling, It does that automatically because it uses Google Calendar. Google Calendar can be put into your iDevices calendars and stuff like that, so you still have all of the functionality. Notifications, reminders via email or pop-up, that is inherent with Google Calendar. And then the Google Tasks are also shareable with the drag and drop feature. So if you're using Google Calendar and you're using Gmail, anytime somebody puts a date or a time in an email, it's clickable and it will automatically add to your calendar if you choose to. You'll see a nice little dotted line underneath of it, and that tells you that it can be added to the calendar as an event. That's my calendar. I'm very color coded. Every single one of my tasks or clients has a different color. And that's just to keep me sane. And most people are like, how do you live with that? And I'm like, well, because I know what's important and what's not important by the color. And so I know what my week looks like as soon as I open my calendar. Most of you have used Google Calendar. This is just showing you how to do how to make a new task, how to share it with different people. All right, so I'm done with Google right now. Good. Let's try something else. Notebooks and databases. So how many of you guys use notebooks and databases to save notes? Some people use them religiously. Other people, like me, not so much. I choose to use my Google stuff to make it happen. But Evernote and OneNote and other services like that have their application. So for me, it's recipes. All my recipes are inside Evernote, and it's because of its OCR capabilities. So what is OCR? When you scan or you put something inside of Evernote, it can read character by character. So if I type in the word chicken to go search for chicken, it will bring me up all of my recipes that have the word chicken in it, because it reads CHICKEN. If I spelled that right. It will go and it'll find all of those characters as they are put together. That's what OCR is. We're going to talk about OCR in a few minutes when we get to business card scanning. All right. So it's good for sharing and storing resources or organization. Evernote is collaborative with a team on a paid version. So if you are, sharing notes about clients, or you're using that as a semi-CRM for your contacts, you can share that with your team on the paid version. And like I said, it's an OCR searchable database of documents. Okay? That's what my Evernote looks like. See all the recipes? And when I'm doing clippings, so Evernote has, you can't see him, but he's a little elephant up there. You have a Chrome extension for Evernote too. So if you're out and you're a researcher or you're looking to find articles and save them, you are on a website, you can click the little elephant guy and that whole article will go directly into your Evernote. Now we're going to talk about Evernote again when we come back around to social media content, because the program that I'm going to show you for that, you will actually take anything that's in Evernote and translate it into your blog with the click of a button and make it look like it's yours. But always credit the person it came from, please. Google doesn't like when you don't do that. All right, so the free version of Evernote is always there. There's a $25 version or a $50 version that's at annual cost, depending on what you want to use Evernote for. LastPass. So remember I told you all you had to do was remember a password, right? How many passwords do you all have to remember?
Too many.
Do you have them posted on your wall at home or in a drawer? Well, LastPass is literally that. It's the last password you're ever going to have to remember, because LastPass saves your passwords. So it's not that when your Google Chrome saves your password and then it just auto-populates. LastPass is a Chrome extension that you'll see up in your little top thing. And when you type in a new username and password, it asks you if you want LastPass to save it. So it is literally an entire database of every website, username, and password that you have. Okay? Security. We were talking about security. If you put in one password into LastPass, your whole computer goes down. You got to redo everything. The only password you need to remember is the LastPass password, because it has saved everything else for you. All right? You can go in and get them at any time you need to, and you can go into the whole journal list. So if for some reason you're, say, working with me, and I say these are the username and passwords that I need to be able to help you do what you asked me to do, you can go into LastPass and say, click Facebook, done, and have it all inside of there. If you want to go crazy and actually use a key gen password, which, you know, if you've ever done that whole internet logging in thing to a Wi-Fi, and it's like 16 digits, and it's like random numbers and characters and capitals, that's what a key gen password is. And you can do that, and that is probably the most secure you're ever going to get. And LastPass has that as an option. So if security is what you're worried about, you can do that with LastPass. Oh, best thing, multi-website credential storing. So what does that mean? So for instance, me with MailChimp, I have 15 different clients that are on MailChimp that I log in and do work for. So when I go to MailChimp, there's a little star that sits in that username field, and if I click on it, it will show me all of my clients. I pick one, and it logs me in as that person. So I can save as many logins and passwords for that site as I need to. So for those of us who work with multiple clients and multiple logins, this is a time saver, because I don't want to put your username and passwords up on my wall. This is what it looks like. So for instance, you see that number 2 up there? That tells me that I have 2 logins for that particular website. This is what it looks like inside of LastPass. So as you can see here, there's the website for MailChimp. This is the username, and the password is blanked out. Unless you push this little eyeball, then it'll show you what your password is. Business card holder. So, gotta get ready for this question. How many of you still have a Rolodex? Oh, okay. All right, just one.
I have an employee with a Rolodex. She won't give it up.
How many of you have the book that you put your business cards in?
Scott, no, the box.
The box? All right. Or the box sitting on the corner of the desk or the floor or somewhere else.
Or a decorative box.
Are they working for you in that box? Are you marketing to them? If somebody calls you for a plumber, how long does it take you to go and find the plumber?
Yeah, because I have them in an online directory.
Okay.
It's working for me.
All right. So business card holder. So before I found this tool, I use this cam card. That's what I used. Cam card is an OCR scanner, like we talked about a little while ago. And so you take a picture of the card, and it puts the information where it thinks it needs to go. But the problem with an OCR scanner is if you have a really cool logo like mine that has some scripty stuff in it, it doesn't read it as text. It reads it as a picture, and it puts all this gobbledygook inside the field. So I used to have to spend as much time fixing it as I would have if I just typed it in myself to start with. I mean, at one point I was networking so much and taking so many pictures, I actually paid somebody to just go into my account and fix everything because I didn't have time to do it. So now I have full contact. Why is full contact better than an OCR scanner? Full contact is hand transcribed by a real person. They employ people all over the world to just wait for you to take a picture of a business card. That's what I do. And as soon as you take a picture of the business card, it says, will be transcribed in 10 minutes or less. Right? So that person transcribes that business card, 98% accuracy. That goes into your directory, and now you don't have any more business cards on your desk, and it's now a list. So you've all heard about building your list. All those business cards should be in your list. Everybody that comes into your life should be in your list. If they want out of your list, there's an unsubscribe button for that. We talked about that on the very first slide. Okay? So if they are in a box, they're not working for you. You can't have them in a drip campaign. You can't have them in a MailChimp newsletter. You don't have them in your contact relationship management system so that you can contact them on a normal basis or automate that process. So if you start with this, then we can get into some of this other stuff. Inside of full contact, this is what it looks like. You see I have a list of all of my contacts here, and it goes down 8,000 contacts deep. It pulls from every social media. So if that person has used that email address that's on their business card in any of their social media platforms, it will find them. It will pull their picture in. It will pull any other details in. It pulls their Twitter feed in, so you can see what they're talking about on Twitter. And then on LinkedIn, if they change their job, or they change their title, or they change anything, it pops up and says, you have updates. And it will automatically update them for you. Sound
That's
cool?
crazy good. That's a stalker website.
The cost of admission tonight.
Right? There you go. But wait, there's more. It's free. It is free for 50 business cards a month. And if you're on an iPhone, they keep you to that. If you're on an Android, you have more leeway. But if you're a master networker and you need lots and lots and lots of business cards, for the $99 a year gives you 1,000 business cards, no limits on your monthly, and it gives you the ability to read signature lines. So you attach your Gmail to it, you attach your Facebook and your LinkedIn and all of your different accounts, and when somebody sends you an email through Gmail and has a signature line, Full Contact will read it and put all their information into your system for you. And then you can download it and do with it what you please. Like put it into MailChimp. Alright, so we were talking about Google Hangouts earlier. I heard Google Hangouts. So screen sharing and video meetings. How many of you are doing video meetings? Awesome. How many of you do webinars? Or would like to do webinars? Or would like not to have to do all your one-on-ones at Starbucks? So, meetings online anywhere from computers, phone calls through Wi-Fi and data. Interview, train, review contract terms, host your meetings in a recorded environment. When I meet with a new client via the internet, I record it. Because if we talk contract terms, we talk pricing, we talk any of that, I have it recorded. It is admissible in court. So, if something were to happen down the line and somebody decides not to pay me via their contract terms, I have a video where they agreed to the contract terms.
Is that legal here?
It is legal here, as long as you say at the beginning of the recording, I'm recording this for us so we both have it, so we can review it later. It is also how I interview and train my teams. It is also how I create all of my training documents for all of my clients so that they can work with my team. You can do screen sharing, reverse screen sharing, so I can share my screen with you, you can share it with me. I can take over your computer, you can take over my computer. And then you can upload it to YouTube, to chatting, to VoIP, the whole 9 yards. So I've got 3 separate ones here. So you all have seen Skype. Skype allows you to call, it allows you to do video, it allows you to do some recording. It's not as robust as the other ones we're going to talk about. This is Zoom. This is my new baby. Zoom does all of this and more. because it allows you to go from a one-on-one meeting to conferences. So you'll hear me talk about my Think Do Mastermind in a little bit, but I do all of my streaming using Zoom. It's recorded, it goes up onto a membership website, and it's all done in HD. So Google Hangouts was the one we were talking about earlier. I used to use Google Hangouts, and I enjoy Google Hangouts when I'm talking to people. I use that when I talk to my staff. I use it on my phone when they call me from the Philippines. We use Google Hangouts for all of that. But as far as a recorded product, Zoom is much better than Google Hangouts. There you go. Free and up for Zoom, free and up for Skype, and free for Google Hangouts. Yes.
Zoom, is that, can you grant people access to that, or is that open when you're doing it? So like, there's like Lab and all these different little things. Can you, and do you have a limitation on how many can be in the session?
Zoom, you have a special link for each one of your meetings that you can send out. 50 people on the free version can come on and participate, and then you can have watchers, and they go all the way up to like the webinar jam or whatever. Like you can have like 50 people on it, and then you can have up to 1,000 or 1,500 people watching.
And they don't have access to type a comment.
Correct. Your watchers don't have that.
Okay.
Yes. Your participants can participate. But they have levels. Like I'm at the $15 level, and that's just because I have my own room. So when I say, hey, let's have virtual coffee, and you say, okay, where are we going to go do that? I said mcsvirtualcoffee.com. And it goes directly to my Zoom, opens up for you, and it goes ding dong, like you rang the doorbell when you joined me. And then we can have a virtual coffee. It can be recorded. We can do screen sharing. We can do everything we need to do inside of Zoom. And then when we're done, I end the meeting, and the recording actually does its thing and gives me a video file, and it gives me an audio only file. So if you wanted to put audio recording somewhere of your conversation or whatever, you can do that. And it allows you to stop and start recordings whenever you want to. So my Think Do sessions the mastermind that I have is a 6-hour session. We do the morning, and then we stop for lunch, and then we do the afternoon. And so I actually come out with 2 files that I can then put into my editing software and do with whatever I please. So these are some screenshots. So of course that's me up there, my office. All these ones were done Google Hangouts. Let's see. This is a screen sharing session. So is this. This is an interview I was conducting. I do all of my interviews recorded, so that we do the interview with the new virtual assistant, and then we can send those interviews to our clients and say, here's the 3 we think work for you. Let us know if you'd like to talk to one of them or if you're ready to hire one of them. Trello project management. So how many of you manage projects? Like from start to finish, and you have different steps in between? Only Jerry. All right, well, we can talk about this one later.
Well, Trello is wonderful even for more than just project management. I use that now for my to-do list.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get away from the envelope section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trello. Here. This is what Trello looks like. It allows you to have multiple collaborators that you can assign tasks, hence the little pictures that are up here. You can put pictures, you can put documents, you can put tasks and checklists all inside these little boards. And you can move them from one board to another as the stages progress. So if you are into if you need that project management, or you need, like Jerry said, a task list, she can move it from beginning stages, stage 1, stage 2, ask Scott, and done. Right?
I use mine to call, to email, to quote, and I just have the different boards. We're in the process of selling our home, so things we have to do with the home, phone numbers of handymen, that kind of stuff, in preparation for trips, I'll have a board on just that.
Mhm.
Promo, business, things to be sure and take. It's just it's my memory.
Yeah, it's all about how you think and how you feel and how you work. So, like I said at the beginning, you're not going to use all of these tools. I don't use all of these tools all the time. But for certain clients, that's my job. My clients come to me and say, I have this pain. And I say, okay, this is what we're going to do to alleviate this pain so you can get on to your next one. Because all of us have multiple pain. It's just which one is killing us at the moment. It's free. Trello is free. There is a paid version at $45 a year that gives you some more stuff, but the free version will do everything you want it to do for the most part.
Question.
Yeah.
So Trello, is that web-based and app-based on your phone?
Yes.
And I see. Yeah. You can collaborate.
Yeah. Almost everything that I'm showing you is across all devices. With the exception of Mixmax, that won't work on your phone.
I do
but-
my honey-do list, and then I subscribe to my husband,
There you go.
and then he gets notes telling me what he's got to do.
Yeah.
So,
What is the benefit for them, for this to be free for them, aside from getting all of our contact information and all of our information? What do they do from it?
They sell advertising. They get investors.
Okay, so for them, it's to get as much information as they can from us and all of our business to resell it.
They don't resell your information.
They don't resell it.
Really, what they're looking to do in most cases is get themselves known. Because everybody has a free version of something that leads to a much higher paid version of something else. And if you can get people using and you can gain that credibility by saying, I have, 1 million users, then you are more likely to get investors for the bigger project. And that's what most of these developers are working on. If they didn't just develop it for themselves, and at $45 a year, if you have 1 million users and you structure your product the right way, and you can only use certain things if you subscribe, people subscribe.
I mean, if you just think about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is free, but there's a gazillion 20 people who will pay.
Premium.
Right. I would rather make $10 off of 1 out of 100 than $100 off 1 out of 1,000. It's all about volume for most of these, and it's the volume and the credibility. So no, they're not out there selling your contact information unless you're on Facebook. But they're selling it, but they're not selling it because they don't give anybody your contact information. They just use your stats. And honestly, if you haven't done Facebook ads or gotten into that whole world, it'll blow your mind on how targeted and how you can touch the person you need to touch.
25 to 36 with 3 kids and 2 pets.
That's right.
You gotta, that's how I advertise.
That's right. CEOs, households that are making $500,000 or more, that have a daughter that does gymnastics. All of it. So who knows what a CRM is? Who knows what a contact relationship management system is? Who's ever worked in the corporate world?
Try to avoid it.
Yeah, I know, right? When you went in for your corporate job or whatever job it was that you had, they said, you're going to learn the computer system today, right? So that computer system was either a POS system in retail or hospitality, or it was a CRM system in everything else. And CRM systems are built to keep your contact information for all of your clients, for your salespeople, for your tasks, for all of the information that you had internally for your company. Well, you don't have to be a multi-billion-dollar company to have a CRM system. As a matter of fact, this one's $9 a month, and they have a free version. It's all about setting them up and using them. Because if you were in the corporate world and you didn't use the system that they asked you to use, you probably got fired because you didn't do what needed to be done. the exact same thing as a small business owner, entrepreneur, professional. You have a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of information that's kind of just sitting there that's not working for you. And that's my job, is to get my clients' stuff working for them. So if you need to manage your sales pipeline, if you need to manage your contacts or your documents, projects, your e-commerce sales, and your drip marketing automation, so all of that, drip marketing automation is one of those things that everybody says they want to do but never puts the time in to actually do it. How many of you have subscribed to a product or a service that you saw through an email or through an ad somewhere? Everybody has. Because the first thing that happens is you get an email, thank you for downloading the 10 steps to a healthier you, right? And it's a one-sheeter. That's called a freebie offer or a lead magnet. And that lead magnet, you have just granted them the use of your name and email address to build their list, which is what we just talked about, building your list. And then 2 days later, you get another email from them saying, hey, guess what? We got this too. And then 2 days after that, they say, hey, guess what? We thought this would be the perfect thing for you. And then 3 days later, you get another email that says, you know what? You didn't like those other two. We know because you didn't download them. But guess what? We're going to cut the price in half. And then, my favorite one, what, you don't like us? That's the subject line.
That's true. Where's that unroll, or what was that one?
Unroll.me?
Unsubscribe and then get rid of all them fools.
Yes, it does.
This is where a lot comes from.
But I can tell you, being in this world and knowing that every business owner that has heard about what can happen wants this. I just taught a 6-hour class on this on Saturday. And it was literally building what yours looks like. Because everybody comes to me and says, I want to run Facebook ads. Oh my God, I heard it's so awesome, and I can target, and I can put it out there, and it only costs me $5 a day. I want to run Facebook ads. Sure, no problem. We can build Facebook ads for you. But your Facebook ad has to go somewhere. When somebody clicks on it and says, I'm interested in the 5 ways to lose your stomach in 10 days, it's got to go somewhere. So it goes to your website, or it goes to a splash page, or it goes here, it goes there, and they download those 10 things. Once they download those 10 things, what happens? They just got your freebie, but they didn't buy your product. So, what do? You pick up the phone, you call them, because you got their phone number. You got their email address. So you email them once. Thanks for buying the product. Or, thanks for taking the freebie or the $7 thing or whatever. Once. It takes 9 to 12 touch points in 9-second intervals with today's adults and other folks, whoever your target market is. 9 seconds. So you essentially have 9 words in a subject line to get somebody's attention 9 to 12 times before they take their credit card out and buy from you. Every single person that clicked is a potential buyer because they were interested in what you were selling. If you can convert 10% of the people that take your freebie, is it better than 0?
Yep.
You put the work in on the front side, and that Facebook ad can run forever. The drip marketing piece can run forever. People can opt out. 90% of people will opt out. But the 10% that you're going to get that are going to buy, it was worth the work. Now you know why people like Richard Brownson, who is the owner of ClickFunnels, has 700 sales products on the internet right now. 700. Making anywhere from $12 a day to $1.2 million a day.
A day.
He has one, I was watching a video of his, and he gave the example that my friend said I couldn't do it. And he's like, well, let's just try. Because I'm good at what I do. Wrote some sales copy, put a page together, put a buy button. How to build a chicken coop in your backyard was the product. It was a 32-minute video on how to build a chicken coop in your backyard. What's that worth?
To him?
What's that worth? I mean, no, anybody in this room want to build a chicken coop in your backyard?
No, but somebody will and somebody will buy it.
To the tune of $12,000 a month
Shit.
at $1.99 a pop. A 32-minute video that somebody shot using an iPhone while they were building a chicken coop in their backyard. Edit it all together, put it on a website, put some Facebook ads together, $12,000 a month for about 8 hours worth of work. Going on 5 years. Let's all build a chicken coop.
Seriously.
All right. CRM systems, I won't bore you with this, but there are tons of CRM systems that are out there. I use one called Contactually. It's a little bit more expensive than some of the Insightly's and the $9 ones that are out there. I pay about $60 a month for mine. The reason I pay $60 a month for mine is because I have 10,000 contacts. Every single one of my 10,000 contacts gets an email from me every 30 days, unless we have a conversation via email, phone, or text. If we have a conversation or they message me or I message them inside that 30 days, it starts them over at day 1. So the people I talk to all the time don't get spammed from me, but the people that I don't talk to all the time get a reminder that I am alive every 30 days. What does that mean for me? From those reminders, which are just snippets of my blog posts, that's it. You know, 31 ways that a clone can help, or that I'll remember that in just a minute. That pisses me off because that's my favorite one. That's the one that everybody clicks on. What is it, Jerry? What's that? What's the email? What's the blog post? Anyway.
I'll go to my email and pull it up.
Yeah. You're never alone with the clone.
There we go.
That's what it is. And I can tell you that that is my highest converting blog post that goes out via email, because every time that one goes out, I get 2 to 3 people that will say, you need to tell me more about clones. And it's always that same sentence. But every month I will get 2, 3, 4 leads just from the passive work that I put into this. Just because it's all automated. I don't click a button to send out 10,000 emails a month. It just does it. I put them in a bucket, in a category of, you know, who they are, and that email just happens. That's why I use Contactually.
Can you send out photos as if like a new paintings you're selling? Can you do that?
Yes, you can. And I would say, just because I like traffic, is what I do is I have my snippet, and you can put a picture in there, and you can say, want to see the rest of the collection? Click, takes you to your blog. Now you not only have clicks inside your email, and it's upping your SEO content, but now they're going to your blog post, and they're upping that too. And if you do that the right way, then Google says, wow, she's got more clicks. We need to put her higher on the list. It's all about engagement. So the more that you can tie in all of your different channels, just like every email that goes out from me has a follow me on Facebook and connect with me on LinkedIn. Because if I'm driving traffic from my emails to my other sites, then I can up my SEO rating on Google. Google likes me more. this is what Insightly looks like on the inside. This is a $9 version, $9 a month. It gives you all of your contact management. You can download it, you can edit it. It syncs with full contact, and I'll show you about that in just a minute. But this is general CRM. If you want to know more about this, just contact me, and I'm happy to help you find the right one for you. There are hundreds that range anywhere from free to $10,000 a month, just depending on what you need and what you want. There are ones that are specifically based for social media. There are ones that are specifically based for project management. Mine is specifically based for automation. So it just depends on what your greatest pain is and how we go about finding the right one for you. This is a sample of a drip marketing campaign. Infusionsoft is a great product, but it's very hard. So I don't try and teach on it because it gets very complicated. Email marketing. We talked about this a little bit. Lots of different options for email marketing. Jerry uses MailChimp. I use Constant Contact because MailChimp decided not to like me anymore. I use iContact with clients. I use SwiftPage. SwiftPage is if you have, the only time I would ever use SwiftPage is if you're doing a lot of cold emailing, or you're buying lists, which technically is illegal, or you just have a ginormous list of millions of people that you're just sending stuff out to all the time. This goes on how many sends you do, not how many contacts you have. So, I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but my an old client of mine is a magician, and he works nationwide. Every time he goes to a conference, he gets the entire list. So he'll go and perform in front of 13,000 people. He uses this because 13,000 people will cost you $100 with any of these, and it costs him about $6 with SwiftPage. It's just a lot harder to design in. So if you want pretty awesome emails to go out, you need to put the money in to have a designer help you with that if you're not tech savvy, because it's not easy at all. So, trackable mass emailing, you'll be able to see the stats of who opened your email, who clicked in your email, what they clicked on, and then you get a list of everybody who actually did the clicking. So that now, that is your new hot prospects list. If they clicked, they're interested. You need to go find out what they're interested in if they haven't bought from you yet. It gives you a lead list when you do this. Minimal contact management, it's not a CRM, it's a CMM. It manages your marketing, not your relationships. Okay? Stats and follow-up reports, split testing. So if you want to see if one message works better than another message, you can send out the same email with different headlines, and it'll tell you how they compare. Okay? Easy to use and brand, and then your drip marketing automation. What happens when somebody clicks on your Facebook ad and all those emails start going out gets handled inside one of these. Any questions?
You do constant contact.
Yes.
So let's go not pissing off people like MailChimp and Constant Contact when we're collecting data, i.e. their email and that type of stuff.
Right?
If they're not directly subscribing through Constant Contact or your link through the website, whatever,
Yes.
and you have collected, whether you were networking
Uh-huh.
or however you obtained that, what's
Yes.
the best way to input that data in Constant Contact to not piss them off, excuse me? for
No,
saying it.
constant contact's the worst.
I know.
because
They
they're
are.
So strict.
They are.
I know.
So
You have
how
to
to
send a
so
triple
I will
check.
tell you, get everything that you have, all of your business cards, all of your trades, like associations that you're part of, get all of those contacts in one list. Okay? At one time. Clean house. Get it all cleaned up and in one list. Upload that list. You're going to say, it's less than a year old. I've emailed them. You're going to lie. I've emailed them in the last 3 months. This is a new product. So we're testing out a new product with our list. So I'm telling you, I'm probably going to have some unsubscribes. Okay? So upload it all at once and send them 3 emails in the first 5 days. Day 1, day 2, day 5, or day 1, day 3, day 5. Okay? What that does is Constant Contact doesn't react that fast. All right? You make your messages non-spammy, non-salesy, with as little color as possible. Okay? 1 to 2 images per email. And then at the end of that 5-day campaign, all of the people who don't want to see your stuff will opt out. All of the people who say you're spam will say you're spam. All of the email addresses that were gonna bounce because the email's changed will be gone. And now you download that list, get rid of all of that crap, and if they come back and say, wait a second, did you lie about your list? You say, no, I told you it was a new product. I'm okay, I'm clean now. And now everybody that's still on your list has opted in. All right? This is what it looks like when you build templates. As you can see, this particular client of mine, we've built him the standard branded templates, and then he has a book, and so we built him templates for his book too. So now he can literally go in and just put in his verbiage that he needs to put in every month, and he has nice, pretty branded templates. If you have not heard of or understand the concept of a cohesive brand, please get with me or get with somebody that talks about branding. Because if your business card does not look like your email signature, does not look like your newsletter you're sending out, does not look like your website, does not look like your Facebook page, you are sending out way too many messages and nobody knows who you are. Make sure they all look like you. That's your business brand, right? So when you put stuff up on your LinkedIn and you put pictures, in your profile, your LinkedIn profile, or your header on Facebook, make sure that if somebody goes to your page, that it looks like you and it feels like you. When you're driving down the street, you could see a bullseye 2 miles down the road and you know that darn well it's a Target. It's not a Walmart. That's branding. And it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to, break the bank at all. Put in the work to create your brand, because that's what you want people to see. When you are to the point where you're like, I'm gonna go be at a trade show, and you get the list of all those trade show attendees, and they saw 400 booths that day, visually, they are going to see what you send them in that email, and their brain is going to connect them with you. Because at most trade shows, people take all those business cards, they do jack with them because they're still sitting in a box on the corner of their desk. They never scanned them, they never used them. There was no point in them ever being in that trade show because they didn't follow up. How many times did I say it takes to follow up and actually get a buyer? 9 to 12. So you better be ready. If you go and spend the money to be at a trade show or to be in a wedding show or anything like that, be ready with 9 to 12 touch points after the show. And it can all be automated. You just have to be prepared. This is inside Constant Contact. Percentages. So the average open rate for an email campaign is somewhere between 10 and 30%. Most emails, campaigns that go out are going to sit somewhere between 17 and 20 if you have a captive audience that knows you. Because at least 15% of your audience knows you on a daily basis. They're going to open your emails, right? But you're always hoping to get that 1% higher. Those 10 people that didn't open your email last time, that'll open them this time. That's what you're looking for. It's not about getting 100% because you're never going to get 100%. There's spam filters and there's, spam arrest and all these other things that are out there that people use to try and get rid of emails. And that's okay. You don't, it doesn't hurt my feelings. But when I have a captive audience, so like my Think Do Mastermind people, every email that goes out to them, 98% are open because they are invested and they want to know what's there. So the more targeted your audience, the more captive audience you have, the higher your percentage rate is going to be. And if you mix those captive audiences with your general audience, Constant Contact won't shut you down. MailChimp won't shut you down because they see that you're actively engaging with people. It may just not be the right list, or it may not be the right subject line for that list. If you are going to spend 5 minutes on the copy of your email, spend 10 minutes on the subject line. All right? Because that's the most important. Those are the most important 9 words that is going to make all of this happen. Okay? Marketing scheduling. This is one of those hot buttons that I get with everybody. Can you do my social media for me? Because we don't want to do it. We don't have time. And we know we need to. We just don't have time to do it. So I run a team of virtual assistants. That's what I do. I cannot run your social media for you if we don't know what you want to say. Because we may have 50 artists or 50 businesses in IT and all across the board that we're doing stuff for. And so if I don't know what your theme is for the month or what you want to say over that time period, we can't go out and research and pull that relevant information. I can tell you that each month I have a theme. And I give that theme to my people. And then I say, okay, we run our social media content 7 days a week. On Monday, it's Manic Monday. I want everything to deal with pain as it pertains to my theme. Tuesday, my blog posts go out. They get shared, that all gets shared on social media. Wednesday, we're going towards pleasure for this one because we want to solve a problem. We don't want to focus on the pain, we want to solve the problem. Thursday is Throwback Thursday, of course. Fun Friday. Super Saturdays. And Relaxation Sundays. And everything that goes out on each one of those days pertains to my theme for the month. So my copywriter puts her blog posts in, and then my team goes and researches the internet and does all that kind of fun stuff based on that blog post. So one may be hiring your dream team, and that entire week that's all we talk about as it pertains to those themes for the day. So if you think out how you want your social media to be, you can hire somebody to do it for $5 an hour. Not bad. That's what we were just talking about. It increases your SEO because you're consistent, and your simultaneous posting with all of the different Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, your blog. Everything that you do online, the more you're consistent with it and the more interactive people are with you, the higher Google ranks you. Because they like when you're putting out good content. Plagiarism is the best form of flattery. I'll tell you that right now. I do it. I share. I make sure that when I find a blog post that I love, that pertains to my theme and for the month and for the day, I will comment on their blog and say, thank you so much. My network is going to love this. I will make sure to link to you. So I post it and I link to them. Well, that's called backlinks. I've just increased my SEO rating and their SEO rating by sharing their content with my audience. And now, who knows where that's going to lead? Because if that person has a podcast, I get to go on it. Because they like me. Because I shared with my network of people. And now they have a podcast with 100,000 downloads a month. And I go on it, I get interviewed. Now I'm downloaded 100,000 times a month. If I get one call from that, that's more than the call that I had before. Mm-hmm. And if you do it over and over and over again, you get asked to come speak at things like this. So the service that I use to schedule all of my posting is called CoSchedule. If on its face you do not do any work, it's $79 a month. If you write a blog post about how you use CoSchedule and you send it to them and it meets their criteria, which they give you, they cut that in half for the first year, so you get it for $35 a month. For every person that signs up with your link because you said, I love CoSchedule, they give you 10% off. So, do a little bit of work, you can get it for free. And it allows you to schedule all of your posts as far out as you want. So my themes are done through June. My virtual assistant in his downtime right now is filling up this calendar so that we have everything on the days we want to have it. It's collaborative, so he can sign in with his username, I can sign in with mine. They can put everything into draft status, and then I can go in and I can approve it. So that's how we do this for our clients. We give them as little or as much handling as they need. If they just say do it, I don't really care. All right, I just need your themes from you. That's it. But if they say, no, I want to make sure that my brand is best represented and I want to make sure that I can touch everything and that I can approve everything, got that too. So, like I said, CoSchedule is a little pricey on its face, but when you're working with it and you follow the rules, you can get it for free very easily. Because all you gotta do is tell somebody about it. And they're like, oh my god, I need that too. There are other ones out there like Hootsuite and Buffer and stuff like that, but they don't give you near as much of the help that CoSchedule does. It syncs directly with your blog on WordPress, so you can put your blog into your WordPress site, and then it comes down and says, let's schedule the posting that goes out at the same time as the blog. So that all goes here. You craft your messages, you put your pictures in, you do everything right here, and then it just miraculously happens to go out to the web at the time you tell it to. And you can do lists. So if you're collaborating, this says Brooke has put in the idea, Kim has written the content, and Jane has done the social media. And when it gets done, I get an email that says that was done. So I see what my team is doing at the same time. We talked about Evernote earlier. CoSchedule actually will take Evernote and turn it into a blog post for you. So it takes out all the spaces, it takes out all the ads, it takes out all the crap, and just brings the content in. And you can say, I just found this awesome article from Ryan Deese at Digital Marketer. You have to read it. Boom. It's all there for you, done, and CoSchedule schedules it. Very cool program. They have 11 videos that you can watch. It takes you through every single feature, and they have a free month trial. And I will send you the link to get my 10% off. We talked about that. Okay, this is that piece that's going to blow your mind. How am I doing on time?
Everybody's excited, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So she can keep going. How much more time do you need?
I'm almost done.
Okay.
This is that one thing.
Zapier. I'm not interrupting Zapier.
All right.
Because I know it's coming.
All right, so Zapier is a cloud-based aggregator. What in the heck does that mean? All right, so we've talked about all these cloud-based apps tonight, right? All this stuff that you sign in to a browser with a username and password. Well, Zapier says if you scan a business card with full contact, then it's going to do this. And they're called recipes or zaps, depending on which product you use. So when I scan your business card, it gets hand transcribed by full contact. It then sends an email from my Gmail account saying, it was so nice to see you. Let me know if you want to have virtual coffee. We'll schedule something. My signature line. Then it automatically puts you into my constant contact. It automatically puts you into my contactually and sets you up with a bucket so that you start getting into my automated system. All I did was scan the business card and take a picture. That's it. All of that gets set up inside of Zapier. So Zapier and its other version, If This Then That, work with over 350 different cloud-based applications. So if you're using cloud-based applications now, you can go type them in there, and it'll tell you what it can do. It's awesome. So if you're using Google Docs, and every time somebody makes a change to a Google Doc, you want to see an email, Zapier can do that. If you want anybody that unsubscribes from your constant contact, you want it to send you an email, it can do that. 350 applications of options with Zapier. Now, If This Then That tends to run more on the personal side, where Zapier runs more on the business side. So I'm sure you guys have all seen the commercials where you can turn the lights on and off in your house with an app. Well, the cheaper version of that is to have an app that talks to that stuff, but If This Then That can set that particular app up to turn your lights off at a certain time, or to turn your Christmas tree on at the right time, or to start your car. I mean, it's crazy, the stuff that they have out there. So think about those cloud-based apps that you're using every day, and go on there. They're free. They're free. You know, if you're doing a crap ton of work, and you have a lot of zaps going, I mean, it limits you at like 100 zaps a month. I can tell you the only month that I've ever gone over that was Christmas in July. And so every time somebody bought a Christmas in July ticket on Eventbrite, it would automatically put them in my CRM. Well, that particular event is 600 people. So that was 600 zaps, therefore I had to pay $19 for the month. But how much time did that save me from having to type everybody in? A lot more when you talk about $55 an hour, right? A lot more than an hour. So, lots and lots and lots and lots of options. So one takeaway from tonight is this, because it works with your Google apps. So, this is the Zapier logo, so when you see it, it works with Facebook and MailChimp and Twitter, Salesforce, some of those you don't know, Dropbox, Google Docs, PayPal. When somebody buys something from you on PayPal and you want it to send out an email or start a drip campaign or put them into your database or send you a text message, you can do that. Stripe is there too. I use Stripe. Google Voice, Skype, Grasshopper if you use that. There's so many options. It's awesome. Here's just some of the recipes that they have. So, greet a new Twitter follower. So when somebody follows you on Twitter, you can send them an email automatically without you having to do it, and it puts their handle in it. So if you've ever gotten those, that's what they're doing. Instagram to Dropbox. So anytime you put something on Instagram, it automatically saves it in Dropbox for you. Let me know when it's going to rain. So when the weather app says it's going to rain, it'll text you. Let's see. Facebook to Twitter. So post something on Facebook, it automatically goes to Twitter. Save my email attachments to Google Drive. So every time you get an email that has an attachment, it automatically puts it in your Google Drive. Can you see the possibilities? Automation saves you time. Hence why the productivity specialist is here. Alright, so last two slides, then we're done. Alright, so if you want to be more productive, you have all of these tools to help you with the different tasks that you want to do. But if you want to really learn to work on your business and delegate and do these things and actually learn the why and the do, that's what I do. So Jerry is our newest member of the Think Do Mastermind group. It literally just started as a group this month. We held a mastermind in October. We held another one in December. It had a 60% retention rate. And that was in December, during holiday party season, on a Saturday. So we decided to do it again in January and to build it out as a year-long course. So the second Saturday of every single month, we have a different facilitated topic that we actually educate you on and bring you through to the do. Give you the way that you can go and do it yourself or ask for help. This last month, I told you we talked about the drip marketing and building your drip marketing campaign. February, we're going to be talking about Facebook ads and targeting, LinkedIn ads and Twitter ads, how to build all of those out so you can drive traffic based on your target market, and then drive them into your drip marketing campaign. March, we're going to be talking about designing your freebie for your business, your lead magnet. And I'm bringing in people that are experts in that. We also live stream it. So if you don't want to be in the room or you can't be in the room, we have the online version using Zoom. And then we also have just an education package. So if you don't want to be part of the mastermind and have people to bounce your ideas off of and get help from, you can just get the videos because we record all of it too. So that's Think Do Mastermind. You can go and see the schedule of everything at thinkdomastermind.com. You'll see everything there. You'll see pricing. You'll have my phone number if you have any questions. It's what I do. Why is it called Think Do? Because I have a partner in crime. His name is Patrick Leask. He's with Action Coach. And he is the think. He is the strategy behind everything. He is the teacher. I am the doer. I don't do strategy. I'm horrible at it. So I have people that come in and do it because I like results. So I teach you the tools and the checklist of what needs to be done, and he teaches you strategy behind it, which hence the Think Do. Get help. If virtual assistants, if you have never used a virtual assistant or worked with a virtual assistant, it's like having somebody next to you that you can touch, except for they're across the world. And they will work extremely hard for you. And when I tell you that, most of you know you hire an assistant or you hire somebody to help you here in the States, whether they're an employee or a subcontractor, you're paying anywhere between $12 and $50 an hour, depending on the skill set. And with the exchange rate in the Philippines, with my staff, you're getting them from anywhere from $5 an hour to $15 an hour. Cost of labor, it's a tax write-off, and there's no taxes or employment laws. Just be good to them. And with my team, you actually get us managing them for you.
Do you use them as contract labor, or?
I don't have to, because they are not in the United States. They are with me. Every time I bring on a new VA, I hire them full time, and I disperse their time depending on the clients that I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds really good. On that amount of money, can they eat and live okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I can tell you the average, my VA, the very first one I hired, she is $650 a month. She supports a family of 5 on her own with that. She's 26. So the majority of my virtual assistants, and I have something for everybody. I now, as of this week, I have 7 appointment setters, telemarketers, and I have 4 office people, a graphic designer, a SEO person, and we're getting ready to hire a web designer.
Do you have accountants?
I have an accountant, yes. She is a certified CPA, yes.
Oh.
Her name is Serene, and she is absolutely fantastic. But for anybody that brings a pain to me that's looking for something specific, we can find that person. If it is something that I don't already have, all I ask is that you go at least part-time. So then we can do that. So basically, you can go on my website. I've been working on that all day today because we just switched everything around. But $500 a month for 20 hours a week. So 80 hours a month for $500. 160 hours a month for $1,000. And you have somebody that's dedicated to you and your tasks. And then at the beginning, we actually get together and we can work on helping you get ready to work in a virtual world. Since most people don't do that right now, we help facilitate that. So I have managers on that side, I manage the clients on this side, and who knows the possibilities. I've literally gone from 3 to 7 in the last 2 weeks. That's me.
Can we say thanks to Brooke? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent, absolutely. So, I want to ask 2 quick questions. First of all, I really want to say thank you to Brooke. I've used her in a variety of ways, and now I have my very, very, very long shopping list of things to talk to her about. I'd like to find out I have 2 questions. One is, what did she share with you tonight that you want more information or you think that you'd like to implement? And I'd like to round robin that real quick, and also just remind anybody if they wanted to check in on Facebook, on Canvas or Manal Art. It's a question I always forget to ask. So does anybody want to share anything that they got tonight that they thought was useful and helpful? Sure.
Honestly, it was all pretty amazing.
Uh-huh.
By the end, I wasn't understanding all of it because there was so much in the beginning, so just an extension would be really nice.
I get
Later,
that.
after I get Gmail, because I don't use it, I use another one. The rest of the stuff would be really great to
So the fact that we're going to email you her slide presentation
perfect.
is the fact that you'll be able to go through and get some specific things. And if not, you have her contact information and she's very available.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
What is the name of your YouTube channel?
My Clone Solution. So if you just go to any of the social medias, if you go and type in My Clone Solution, will pop up.
Doing drip campaigns, landing splash pages, and then what your actual sales funnel
Yes.
ideas to actually have that $1.99 item, or promo, or teaser, or whatever.
I think you can probably buy into the video
Yes. Yes.
if you choose not to participate in the whole thing, but I want to strongly recommend that you take a look at the whole thing. I know that for me as a business owner, it's really challenging for me to take time out. I'm actually in a number of groups that force me to take time out, but to know that every single month I'm going to be forced to implement one area of marketing, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, and we have, like I said, we have the live event. We also have the online. So if you said, okay, I think out of the 8 months out of the year, I'll be able to be in the room, that's cool. Come and be in the room. But those other 4 months, you can be online. Or you can be like, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I just can't make it. I just want the videos. If you come in for the live or the online, you automatically get the membership. So you automatically get all of the videos that we record. You get the PowerPoints. You get the worksheets in like the Excel version, so it moves for you and all of that. You also get all of the offers that come from our speakers. So next month I have Jen Posset coming in talking
She's
about.
amazing.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
She will be talking about how to drive traffic on Facebook and how to target to
The
your
queen.
market. And this is what she does for a living.
Yeah,
So,
that's all she does.
you know, my
social
whole
media.
point of bringing people in is because I don't know everything. I'm completely okay not knowing everything. I'm good at what I'm good at. So I'm going to bring people in that will enhance the education because I want you to do. It's why it's called a mastermind and not a workshop, because I don't want you to leave and not do something. It's not the goal of my business. It's not the goal of yours. But yet everybody goes and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on workshops that they don't implement. We implement in the room.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Because by the time you leave and get back to your office, it's like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
We're calling them doinars.
I don't have time
We're
for
done
that.
with the seminars.
I was
Yeah.
really impressed with everything that you said and the way that it was presented, because it's daunting. I'm starting
She's tough.
my company, and so looking at all of the different type of social media platforms that they are, and to campaign much different than it was 10 years ago, and campaigning a company, to me it seems like I'm like shooting a wild animal, because every month there's something new in a social platform type of way, and I'm old school.
Yeah.
So you know, I just want, I don't want the flash, I want what's gonna work.
With being brand new, the only thing, the one thing that take away from any of this is the first thing you need to know is who your target is. What they're doing, where they're hanging out, and what that avatar looks like. Because that is going to tell you what to take and what to leave. Point just right off the top.
And what is the easiest way of doing that? Aside from going to friends, because it's
Friends can't help you.
No, and it's a variety. So I've got friends that are 30, I've got friends that are 90. So for me, I need more of the target from my friends' friends and just going into general population.
What's your business?
It's the gratitude collection.
Okay.
And it's a variety of items to bring gratitude to your life. And I also have a skincare line part of it with bath bombs and stuff. And art. So I'm doing the past paper art. Scott and I are working together with 10 by 10 frames.
Okay.
And I'm manufacturing skincare.
So you have a couple of different products.
I have product lines for you now.
Okay. So what I would say is figure out who plagiarism is the best form of flattery,
Correct,
right?
Correct.
So you are doing bath bombs and skincare products. Who is it that is most like you that is making the most money? Just know that answer.
Okay.
And then go and find out where they're at,
I know where they're at.
what they're doing
I've seen what
online.
they're doing.
Okay. So when
Be
you
there.
know that, then you know where you should be. Because if you can steal 1% of their market share, what's 1% of $100 billion a year,
Right.
right? So I take 1%. And if you are in the same place they are and you have a more robust, unique selling proposition, which I'm sure you do, because I'm sure it's probably all natural and, you know, stuff like that, and theirs isn't because it's mass produced, you'll get the 1%. And that's where you're going to figure out where you need to be. But that target, if you start thinking about who has the money to buy your product, what does that person look and feel like? You have people that are buying your stuff now. If you were to look at, say, the 10 clients that you had this week, what did they have in common? Was it Jerry? Because if that was Jerry, then you need to find more Jerrys.
You could clone her.
This guy couldn't handle it.
Well, but if you look at Jerry as statistics or as generalities, you know, she's a business owner that is a market for artists and designers in her area.
55 plus.
There you go. You know, and 55 plus artists.
Age.
Oh, I don't care about. I mean, age matters, but not like that. But for instance, if that's what she's doing and she's commanding an audience that buys your product, then maybe I have another client that's similar to Jerry in California, but he only represents 2 artists. But he builds his entire business on that. But that's where his network comes from. So he might be a good person for you to meet in California, because he may have the same type of network of people that Jerry does. So start thinking about those strategic partners and those joint ventures that you can work with people, because everybody's about working with others and trying to build the businesses. And if you have that strategic partnership, that's where your business is coming from. So just look at where your business is coming from now and who it's coming from now, and start building those profiles. And you may have a completely different profile for your bath and body, or that stuff, than you do for your calf paper, than you do for other decor art.
I do.
So you have however many avatars for each one of your lines.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm finding out. Thank you.
So I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I promised that we'd be done by 9. Brooke is willing to stick
sorry.
around. No, you're awesome. You're great, she's great, and questions are great. So you may stick around for as long as you'd like and chat. But let's give some appreciation to Brooke, please, for her time and intelligence. Thank you so much for coming. Any way we can help you with your business. And she's willing to stick around for at least 20 minutes because traffic to Tampa has subsided.
Well, let's give a round of applause to our gracious host.
And there we go. Thank you so much.